Episode 3 to our watching of Officer
Duty
on. If you saw us on YouTube, you see a very kind of
Officer has duty on his pants.
Evil and covers.
How old are you, Rick?
Other Malayalam films. You go to Patreon or channel memberships. I'll put a link in the description. I'll put go check that out.
Yeah.
And the end part. And the other and ideas.
Easy for you to
We'll
say.
talk about the movie and review it. Okay.
Okay.
Let's finish this movie. Huh?
Do it.
Say hi. Say hi. Better not. Or take it.
Hello?
നീ എസ് പിക്ക് റിപ്പോർട്ട് കൊടുത്തേക്ക് ഐ എം അൺഫിറ്റ് ഫോർ ദിസ് ജോബ്
Hari, Hari.
No. Please, mummy, please open your eyes. Or next round more ആയിട്ടായിരിക്കും.
Nice one.
Someone's getting shot.
You messed with the wrong douche crew. There you go, buddy.
Oh, dude.
He's not the shot he used to be. Moni Poco. Yeah.
5. He could shoot the flying pillow like that, but he couldn't hit them point blank.
What a Bowie knife?
Orange. Blue. Orange.
Oh. That'll leave a mark.
Next level. നമുക്ക് ഓഫീസർ വന്നിട്ട് തുടങ്ങാം.
Sorry.
മോളെ
Oh!
She still doesn't know how to do a chokehold. Why do they keep calling for Celine Dion?
They're big fans. Oh. A few months later.
വിളിച്ചിട്ട് കിട്ടിയില്ലല്ലോ.
ആ ഫോൺ സ്വിച്ച് ഓഫ് ആയിരുന്നു.
നീ ന്യൂസ് കണ്ടായിരുന്നു?
Come on, officer. I want to hunt him down. I want his head. You hear me?
ക്രിസ്റ്റി, സെലിൻ, സത്യ, ലാൻസ് എന്നീ സംഘത്തെ കൊച്ചി ബാംഗ്ലൂർ റോഡിൽ സോമനഹള്ളിക്ക് സമീപം മരിച്ച നിലയിൽ കണ്ടെത്തി. പ്രതികളുടെ മരണം ഡ്രഗ് ഓവർഡോസ് മൂലമാണെന്നാണ് അന്വേഷണ സംഘത്തിന്റെ കണ്ടെത്തൽ.
Bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum.
Those 3 chords were, I was like, oh no. Nice. I definitely have issues, especially with the second half that I'll get into here.
It's a bronze.
It was
that's all.
Yeah, it started off really good.
Yeah.
I think it got really convoluted. I think the filmmaking is actually really, really nice. Probably the most superlative part of the film. The cinematography, the editing. I enjoyed the score a lot. I think where it fell off is definitely in the second half. It got too, and I think I had this issue in the trailer. I said, I'm nervous about this one part, and it was the main bad guy.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
I think I said that. You said because it could either work or it could come off as a shtick, and it came off as a shtick. Because they were for some reason wanting to make him like a Joker.
Yeah,
and I'm like, all you needed was he's a druggie, and this is revenge. He doesn't have to be like this psychopath.
No, I agree.
It came like. Honestly, you could have fixed the entire problem with the second half by just making him a normal person who he is a druggie, so he has issues, but like their friends just wanted to take revenge.
Yeah.
They didn't need to be this like psychopathic killer gang because it definitely made it like really unbelievable. And whether it's the writing or his performance or both, it came off as really shticky, as like him trying to play, whether in the writing or his performance, a psychopath, which you don't want. You want Nawaz and Raman Ragam 2.0, who he's not saying, oh, baby, come in, like saying all these lines that are extremely cheesy. Yeah. And he also doesn't actually seem like a psychopath. Yeah. And so that's the biggest issue, I think, with the film. There's some other things as well, but that's, I feel like, the big, because you completely, I feel like, lose the audience a little bit with doing that with that character. I think the best one of his friends was the one that confronted him, I think, in the graveyard. Like in the midway. He confronted him and he was talking to the main bad guy that I have an issue with. And he put on a really good performance right there because he seemed to have a genuine concern about what the plan was and everything like that. And I guess the plan was just to kill a bunch of people, and it just didn't give a strong enough why. I think the strong enough why would have been just revenge, and they're drug addicts, not making them like this evil villain group.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
It's just that struck me as very strange to do that to this story. That started off as a very normal story.
It's 2 movies.
Yeah.
The first half and the second half are completely different films.
Yeah.
In the first half, there's complexity with our lead and his marriage and his family and his personal life. And they kind of just set that off to the side until the last act, even the last 15 minutes of the last act. I was genuinely saying, are you never going to go back to the issues with his family? And then they finally did in the courtroom and just made it, they're getting divorced. And in the first half, the story and everything was pretty grounded.
Yeah.
Felt like a true crime story. And then the second half just became nothing but performative schlock. It just lost itself and became very unbelievable. I really detest it ending with everything's okay with this family. Yeah, they're just, and I'm an optimist. You know, I want to see the happy endings, but the depth of problems that he had and his family had and the trauma the little girl went through, to just wrap it all up with because we got the bad guys, we're all having a happy birthday party and everything's great with us now. I was waiting for him to say, and by the way, they've promoted you at the police station.
Yeah.
It really fell off hard in the end.
I never, like, a few months later, I'm never a fan of that.
No, and I'm also not a big fan of your hero getting away with murder multiple times.
Yeah.
Like, he got away with murder multiple times, and he's the good guy.
Yeah. He's definitely more, like, I would have much preferred them, without, obviously, that ending, to portray him as that. Obviously, he lost his family.
Yeah, he started off as a broken guy in a broken world.
Yeah, he was
Keep
very,
it that way.
very gray. Another way it also fell off is, I mean, this is just maybe a me thing that I'm still not probably ever going to be a fan of, is there was too many flashbacks to what happened.
Yeah, agreed.
And it might be an unpopular opinion, but I think I've said it many times, is it strikes me as lazy as an audience member that you're showing me this where you could tell me in a different way or let me figure out what the backstory was. And it had like 3 or 4 flashback kind of things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is too much.
I agree with you, because flashbacks work only if you use them the right way. Most of the time they're used in a lazy way, in the same way that expositions put into dialogue to tell you about the present tense.
Yeah.
Flashbacks are used to tell you about the past tense. It's a really just easy way to go, and this is what happened. Versus when they're used well, typically at the climax of a film, they go back and show you missed this, you missed this, you missed this, and you go, that's a great flashback.
Yeah.
But just to constantly go back and go, well, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
There was nothing for me to try to figure out.
Yeah. That's not the biggest issue.
No.
Like, I would have been actually more okay with the film if those were still in there. And
Me too.
They rewrote the main bad guy.
Yeah, wow, that was rough in the second half.
In the second half, stop making his dialogue like super villainy.
I was almost ready for him to say, and here we go. And here we go. It was like, what are we doing?
Like I said, I'm not going to fully blame the actor
No.
because he might have been directed that way.
He may have walked away from that going, I thought I had a really grounded character to play, and he'd made me turn it into a freaking cartoon.
Yeah, obviously.
I don't know.
Obviously, most actors, I feel like, would want to play a psychopath at one point in their life, at least me.
Yeah.
But you
Don't show me
obviously
one.
want it to be in the correct way.
Yeah. Be one. Don't show me one.
Yeah.
And they all kind of did that. They went from being really interesting characters to caricatures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they just wanted to make it a little massy at the end or something.
I don't know.
Just
went off the rails.
I definitely feel like it didn't need it at all.
I do, for the most part. I mean, this is barely a bronze, and that's because the first half was so much more enjoyable, and throughout, I really appreciated all the technicalities of what was going on with the cinematography and the lighting, the sound design.
I enjoyed
score.
a lot of the score as well.
Yeah, so that's why it's still
Maybe it's a bronze
enjoyable.
with Blue Diamond.
No, nothing was definitively elevative to the point where I'd consider it for the dummies. It was just very, very good. Very, very good. And that's what made it enjoyable. Because without that, the second half would have made it completely unenjoyable.
I'd include sound design in the dummies.
Maybe.
I actually really enjoyed the sound design in this.
Yeah, it was good.
Especially that one, this is not sound design, but the score of that one song in particular was really, really
really good. The score was really, really well done.
We reacted to that one.
It's not the first time a score and sound design have really saved a film in the watching.
And I had heard some mixed things about this, and so I'd imagine there's a lot of people that probably agreed with us. That I also heard, and which is why we watched it, a bunch of people that were thinking this is one of their best favorite of the year. So obviously, you guys are gonna have to let us know.
There'll be some who are like, yeah, and some who go, oh, I'm disappointed you didn't like it.
Yeah, whatever.
What are you gonna do? That's the way it works.
But yeah, you never want to be a caricature.
No, it sucks.
Unless it's, of course, a comedy, of course, and that's what you're going for.
Right, but when you've established a first half that has everybody grounded, and then they just go off the rails, and
then-
suddenly they went from
And then one guy's like trying
dark
to be the Joker.
people. Yeah, they go from dark people to, and part of it is the writing. They gave them some lines.
Yes.
It's like, boy, oh
Yeah,
boy,
yeah.
do I really have to say this?
Yeah.
And now it's just we kill to enjoy killing, and the more innocent they are, the better we feel about ourselves because we were just born to kill. It's
Like,
okay, whatever.
his friends are attacking the police officer, and he's still going after the little girl.
Yeah, because I love killing little girls. It didn't work, guys. It just
Really?
it just doesn't work.
I say it all the time. Is like it's certain characters that are either over the top. It's very dangerous to as an actor because it could go so bad. In so many different
Yeah.
ways. If your performance isn't right, if the film isn't edited correctly,
Yeah.
if the dialogue isn't right, it could all go really, really bad.
And why is the wife saying she's sorry when everything that's happening to her is her husband's fault, including the killers coming? Because they're going after him because he killed their buddy.
well, at the end, I think it was sorry because I don't have her right now.
Maybe, but like
I took that as
every freaking thing that happened, including them attacking the family, is because he murdered one of their gang members. So to have them go through all this complexity and all of the failures and horrible mistakes he made to just because they caught the bad guys, everything's okay with the family now, let's have a happy birthday party, was just very disappointing.
Let's see. Trying to see what are some of the letterbox reviews here. Camera. Yeah, it's a lot of just another tale of a glorified male protagonist trying to avenge his wronged loved ones, but ends up being the sympathy more than the victims themselves. This movie shares a very exact problem most of the movies in this genre have. Okay. The weakest aspect of this is definitely the villain gang. There's absolutely no effort into putting development into these characters.
Especially in the second half.
Seriously, none at all. This is just adds to numerous plot holes throughout the film. Behavior, yeah. So it's there are people that liked it. Like a lot of people gave it 3.5, 4 stars. But then there's others that are 1 star, 1.5, 2 stars. And so it's definitely I feel like a mixed bag for a lot of people. So you guys obviously let us know. Yeah, the villains, particularly the main villain. He's the one that they gave the most cringy dialogue to.
And my suspicion, it's writing and directing more than the actors, because in the first half,
yeah,
they were very good in the first half.
But you don't know that fully. I suspect it's a little bit of both.
It could be a little bit of both.
Because everybody else in the film, for the most part, I'm talking about the main villain guy, had good dialogue.
Yeah, but you don't know. Again,
and subtle performances. So I think it's a partially of,
yeah, you don't know.
You gave me some weird dialogue, and I was trying to go for this Joker thing.
And you really could have a director. You don't know it unless you're there on the day or talk to the actor.
Yeah.
And most of the time, publicly, they're not going to throw each other under the bus. But for all you know, what the actor's getting from the director every take is, I need more Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
I need more Heath Ledger. And the actor's going,
We say it all the
I
time.
serve the director in this text. Yeah. Okay.
We say it all the time. You never want to come off as an impersonation,
no, or a stereotype
in a film, because it kind of throws it, in for a loop.
Yep,
that's unfortunate.
Anyways,
let us know what you thought about the movie. Did you like it? Did you not?
Especially
like it?
for Malayalam.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you like it? Did you not like it?
Let us know what your thoughts on the film are. What should be our next Malayalam watch along?
Yes, please.
It's not Malayalam, but that
also didn't he play in that movie we just saw where he
the main guy?
Yeah, where he seems to be nice, and then it turns out he's the kind of don't want to give this away.
What movie?
It was a movie we saw where he's the lead guy, and it turns out that he's the one locking women up in his basement.
Oh, Bougainvillea.
It was him, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
That's another one that had.
He's great in that.
But we enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
Because the director is a very good director.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think that was the guy.
It was him.
I think that was the guy.
So anyway,
Bougainvillea.
tell us
we
what
do
you
have
think.
a watch along with that if you haven't seen that. Let us know what our next Malayalam film should be, and anything else we need to know down below.